Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mark, and we're back here for the afternoon call. It is Wednesday. So this market right now, we're in that interesting spot where we just went up in October, obviously around 13%, and we're doing a little bit of back and fill in digestion. I don't think there's a lot of nervous sellers here, but I think right now we're just really coming in, a few days in a row of just basically a lot of digestion, which in my opinion, that's healthier than if we kept going straight up, or quite frankly, if we actually panic on the downside. So here's the spiders, intact. I do think it still holds the 200-day moving average. I know there's a lot of talk on the chat. People are getting a little nervous. I'm not that nervous yet. The only, I guess, point to be nervous about is oil really does not look great to me at all, and bios don't look that good. So the breadth has been narrow. So you really have to be stock specific, which quite frankly is what we do on this site and where we're at most of the time. So a few ideas to look at. Google made a new high today and closed fine overall. It's been tight for the last few days, understanding it's not as extended as Amazon at this point in time. New highs, didn't trade great, gapped up and probably went a few more points, but overall it looks healthy to me. It looks like the race is on to 800 at minimum. Amazon got an upgrade this morning. And, it's off to the races. The weekly chart to me is a little extended, so go back to your weekly and you can take a look. But doesn't seem to want to go down. This parabolic move might be in the works, and usually it doesn't end that great. But overall, Amazon is just a go-to stock. We talked about a few days ago, Facebook, one of, the VTF's favorites. And it hit its 8-day moving average, held there, and really reversed nicely. So 105.75, 106, that was the buy level, and went right back up to 109. Now a few more days of digestion at this high level base, maybe a little backward movement. Looks like new highs are in the works. As long as the market can stay intact for a year-end move, we'll have to wait and see if that's in the cards. But either way, it's a good looking chart, and it's certainly a go-to stock at this point in time across the board. Other ones that I think others, look at, put the IBB up here for a second. Not the best looking pattern in my opinion. Basically, it failed at the 200-day moving average, went above there, a week ago, and it looks like it could be working its way down, so definitely keep that on the radar. I know there's some, CELG doesn't look good, and I consider that one of the leaders. Gilead cannot really get out of its own way for right now. Even though it's hovering and tight pattern. And obviously right now VRX really is still in the news, and that to me looks like it's bear flagging for new lows as it hugs its 8-day on the downside. So keep that in mind, and then let's go to oil. But it's, oil today, OIH, just put it, it's had a nice pullback to me that, as much as it's, lagging, to me, it's not a sell at this point in time. It might find some support at this level. So, 3-4 days down, the pattern, Chevron, same type of thing. 3-4 days down, 3-4 days up, I look to reverse a pattern. That's really what the market that we're in right now. So maybe that's the case. I know Tesla had some strength at the end of the day. That, to me, broken pattern in general. I'm actually long a little bit overnight. Not excited about it, but overall, it did come from 235. 225 it probably could get back to, and if not, you get out of 217 at this point in time. The banks, just lastly, we'll do a quick little overview. They gapped up last Friday, and they really have done nothing since. There's Citi, Goldman Sachs, basing. Are they going to fill that gap? We'll have to wait and see. But since that gap up, they've done nothing, so it's really a non-event across the board for me at this point in time. Microsoft, I know it's something that's on my radar, and it's been on my radar. It's hovering, a little dull action, but again, that's sort of why I like it. Sometimes dull action keeps you out of trouble for the time being. Looks fine, high level base. All it's doing is finding some time to probably make new highs based on what I'm seeing across the board. Market, you could put caution in the wind. That's fine. Today was a slow day, Veterans Day, so the bond market was closed. And, it's one of those days that, again, you just have the lack of action, lack of volume across the board. And that's where we're at. So I hope you had a good day. Hope you didn't put too much stress on yourself. Obviously, it's been a thin market these last few days. I think tomorrow back to normal, but I don't see a whole lot for us to get involved with at this point in time. Have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.